So I want to talk about a story that popped up a few days ago and went absolutely crazy online to the point where it was breaking the internet and breaking people's minds as to where the 3DS is sitting in terms of pricing and value online. And look, we've been over this multiple times on this channel, going back even a few years now, where we were trying to come up with ways to get a new 3DS XL at a decent price without having to take out a second mortgage on your home. And yes, that's hyperbole, but the point is it now costs well above what the system was selling for when it was brand new, right? More than a decade ago, yes, but now it's like, wait a minute. This thing is not cheap. No, no, no. It's not depreciating, is appreciating. And something tells me with some of the recent headlines and how much interest all of a sudden turned to the system, it's only going to go up more and more in value. And we're going to talk about some of that here today. So if you guys enjoy the video, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. Now, it is funny because some of these headlines, which there were a ton of them going around, prices of secondhand new Nintendo 3DS console spike online. This was used 3DS prices have been soaring in the past week. Nintendo 3DS prices skyrocket on eBay, rivaling new Switch 2 cost. So I saw this and I went, oh, you know what? That reminds me, I need to put together a a new 3DS XL. I told one of the kids, he's getting a bit older and is becoming more interesting in playing games even by themselves and like seeking games out, specifically Mario, Kirby, Astrobot. But there's a nice subsection of games that they really enjoy, and they've found their way to the DS and the 3DS era. And I said, well, hey, you know what? You get good grades. Maybe I'll Frankenstein one together for you. You're not gonna get a brand new one because you're 8, and usually you'll play your system while you're eating, and that could be a whole thing, right? So maybe we'll find a way to get you one that's not the best in terms of condition, but it works. You can play your games and stuff, and they got good grades, so I had to put one together. I mean, like I had to. So I've been. You can. I actually have some footage of putting it together here. I had to go through and change out one of the shoulder buttons because it's notorious for going out on these 3DS and new 3DS systems, but they're plugins. So I just had to open up the back and then replace it, drop those connectors back on, close it up, and it was good to go. So everything there works fine. And the system, it's certainly unique. It came together, I think, from between 3 or 4 different broken new 3DS XL systems that I had in a parts drawer. So it worked out. I think I had to change a cartridge slot, a bottom screen. I had to change a charge port. But hey, it all came together, and there it is with the shoulder button. But the point is, it has interest, I think, from even a generation that is coming up and maybe wasn't there when the system was having, I think, a pretty good run with some of the games after its launch. Its launch was kind of rough, as we know, for the 3DS, but eventually Nintendo got things figured out and they were releasing some pretty good games for that platform. There's the whole Pokemon line and stuff, but there's not only people looking back at it with kind of a nostalgia feel, but also I think people are just discovering it, kids for the first time, and it's interesting. You know, it's a different looking device. It looks like a video game system, and we don't have that as much anymore, especially on the handheld side. Everything looks very uniform now. I feel like the PC gaming handhelds, even the Switch 2 it has the snap-on Joy-Cons. That seems to be the most unique thing about it that people always talk about, right? So here we are now with the new 3DS XL. 3DS prices are spiking. This seems to be the tweet that set everything off. This is from Pirat Nation. 3DS prices are spiking. This decade-old Nintendo handheld is now worth almost as much as a Switch 2. New 3DS XL models are often selling for $200 to $350 used. Prices are likely to keep climbing. And now I think they will for a time, because this is kind of that self-fulfilling prophecy of you see it go up a little bit, you then put a bunch of eyes on it. Like, I mean, I think this one tweet here had a couple million views on it, and then tons of articles were being written about it. So now people are going, whoa, wait a minute. Is a 3DS XL like that? It's really? Should we be picking these up? And I looked on eBay, just very brief. I mean, I typed in new 3DS XL, let's scroll down. Here's tested working, red with a charge. Hey, you didn't get a charger when the system first came out. People forget about that. It wasn't a charger in the box for the new 3DS XL. $255. That's on 58 bids at 2 hours. That thing is going to go for $300 plus. So, okay, we're kind of falling in line there. Here's a new 3DS XL. That's a Japanese version. All right, so here's method number 1, if you're unaware. At this point, if you can get an out of region new 3DS XL or 3DS XL or whatever, it's worth picking up because you can change the region on it, the language, everything. And part of that comes down to you modifying the system. But modifying the system is very easy to do now. I mean, there's like literally websites that are step by step. Download this file, put this here on this SD card, press it. I mean, it's to the point where it's almost redundant how each step is really broken down, but it's very good about getting you from beginning to end and not necessarily messing up your system. Is there still a chance to do that? Yes, there always is, but it's probably the safest it's ever been to modify a system like this. Now, when you do that, and I have a video going over this, you can change it to where it's in your region and it'll play any of the games you want it to. And the drawback at that time, back then, is that you wouldn't be able to access the eShop, which is the thing that Nintendo shut down. So there's not much of a drawback now. And that's one of the reasons I recommend this method, as at least for a while, you were able to get them cheaper. Now, 260 bucks, as long as it's in good condition, it looks okay here from what I can see from the small picture. It's sad, but 260 is not bad. I'm thinking more if you catch them on bids and you can pick one up. I do like the one that's like the smaller. It's not the big new 3DS XL. It's the new 3DS from Japan. I just like the screen because the screens are a little smaller than the XL. And if you're someone who's maybe hard of sight, like it's harder to see stuff, that might be better. But for me, I just think the image looks sharper. So with that, you can also look towards the original 3DS. I think that's still a cool looking system. And yeah, it doesn't have the bells and whistles of the new 3DS XL, which is it's just a faster overall system, more powerful, and it has the tracking with the camera for the 3D effect. I just turn the 3D effect off when I'm playing, so that wouldn't bother me anyway. But 98% of the games are playable on the original 3DS, and you know what? That's a nice pocketable system. We kind of got away from that a bit, didn't we? The pocketable handheld. You can look at, to me, at the 3DS as the last true handheld system. I really do think that. The other thing right now is that we're seeing a bunch of systems start to pop up that are attempting to solve the situation with the 3DS in that they're getting harder and harder to get. But emulation is getting better and better to where we do have devices now that can recreate the 3DS very, very well. This is a device here, this Thor. I ordered one. I've been in a pre-order queue for a while, and all of that went through and they shipped it. And I'm still kind of just waiting for it. So when it comes in, I'll do a whole video on this because this looks like the best iteration we have so far as a 3DS replacement. And technically people are saying it works pretty well for a Wii U as well. Top screen, bottom screen. I could see that. But I'd look at this as, yeah, I'm just playing 3DS games on it. And at $250, think about the pricing that we just talked about for the 3DS, where people are spending $300 to $400 on it. You go up to even the Pro model at $350, which that might be the move there. I think I got the cheapest one just to see how it performs with 3DS, as it, again, is the most affordable. Then I'm just curious what it can do. But the Pro model, 12 gigabytes of RAM, 256 gigabytes of onboard storage, that might be the move. And based on the specs, it should be well equipped to not only play 3DS games, but a whole wide range of titles through emulation. So this might be the other path forward here. Now, I think you're going to see more and more systems pop up to try to recreate the 3DS because it is becoming more expensive, and it's very obvious that people are willing to spend money to get a 3DS at this time. Now, the system, you can hack like crazy, do all kinds of stuff. You can load up all the games you want. So some may see it as an investment in, well, I mean, I'm just going to do this and load games on it anyway. It's like, well, okay. But same kind of applies then to the Thor or any other emulation devices that follow up trying to be that dual screen setup. Not a bad idea to also take a look at new 2DS XL. It does take away the 3DS function, but if you're someone who's not going to use it anyway, I mean, it's basically a new 3DS XL without that. They have different color schemes you can see. There's like a lavender one, the orange and white, and then you have the black and blue. So that might be another path forward if you come across one at a good price. I mean, this is always funny. You see, so $200, right? You go, okay, that might be it. And you go through and it's read. You know you're in for something then. Let's see. Slight damage to top screen as shown in photos. Bottom flap slightly sticks out, won't fully close, and not the original stylus. And there's the screen. That's a good thing we read. But that's just kind of where we are now. And again, looking at the current trend, it's trending up, but it's not to the extent that I think was the alarm bells that were going off last week. but it has been creeping up there. And now I think with just more and more people realizing it, probably has the opportunity to continue going higher and higher. This is video game price charting, and they do track they're a little behind with these charts, so it wouldn't shock me if this thing ended up getting closer to the $300 range, as it seemed to max out right around 275. So there you have it, the 3DS. It's getting more and more valuable. It's appreciating in value, and that seems to be the case for every other console now that's released since the start of the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series generation. I mean, if you bought either of those systems, it's only gained value. And it may gain more value as we go along, but the 3DS, it's such a unique system. It's hard to replace and get that same experience. But let me know what you guys think about all this down below in the comments, with the 3DS XL pricing going crazy online the past couple of days, at least in the headlines. But for all of you who have been here for a while, been going on for a bit longer than that. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.